Yeah. So today we are going to discuss about 3 to 4 things. One is eBird app, which will look like this. Okay. And then also we look at eBird web application, which is looks like this. And then we also talk about Merlin Bird ID app. These three are the primary agenda for today's session. Okay. But before this, I wanted to say why eBird is first thing we need to understand, because last week only we are part of CNC, and we used iNaturalist for a very long period, and now we are using eBird. So there are quite a few differences between iNaturalist and eBird, but I'll talk about eBird particularly, because eBird is more specific for people who wants to do birding. So I mean, when you go for birding, right? I mean, most of our guys, might be seeing birds in and around our place. I think we might be observing a lot of birds, but you may not have documented till now. Am I right? That is the reason why we are here. So you might be seeing a lot of birds around your place. What if we document those birds, whatever is there around your place, right? Let's say I see some birds in Begumpet. I document them. Okay, and somebody is from some other region, from let's say Sainik or somewhere else. If everybody documents their sightings at one particular place, that particular place is called eBird. So let's say that whatever you're going to see, right? If you record, eBird will enable to report at one location, which is eBird. This is nothing else but it's a biggest citizen science project in the world, where a lot of millions of bird watchers contribute their data daily. Okay, this is one of the biggest eBird citizen science project which is available, specific for birding. Okay, so what advantage you get? So there are multiple advantages for birders or for any user, right? You may not be thinking what advantage you might be getting. So eBird will give you an option. For birders, it has different ways of advantages. For scientists, it gives you in a different way. For conservationists, it has a different ways of gives data. So any data what you going to submit is useful for scientists, for conservation, for forest department. Forest department is also can use eBird for their use in a multiple ways. Today we are going to discuss about that. Okay, so when you log in, right? I hope everybody created an account in eBird. I created my account. If I log in, this is how I see in web application. Okay, first I'll talk about some of the advantages, then I'll go to mobile app and show you how to enter data in mobile app. Okay, there is different ways you can enter data. Okay, in this case, if you see, right, when you log in, it gives you my quick stats. What exactly my stats? How many birds I've seen? How many pictures I've taken? How many checklists I've created? Everything it shows in a glimpse. And eBird will also allow you to explore some other birds. Let's say you wanted to learn about some bird. Let me enter some bird and show you how exactly it can be useful. So it helps you to know about some of the pictures it's going to show, and it's going to show some of the description, and it gives you since I logged in, it tells me whether I've seen this bird, whether I clicked this bird, or have I seen this bird in this year. These are all, it gives you some interesting facts. And also it gives you a complete stats of my observations of this bird in the world, and also how eBird has seen this bird in the entire world. And it gives you a distribution range where you can see this red-banded bulbul. Everything is shown in this simple sticks. So it gives you an option to learn about some bird, and also see the distribution, learn more about that bird. Everything can be done in eBird, first thing. And apart from that, you can also explore about, let's say that a region, let's say you are interested to see how Telangana is performing in this entire step. It gives you an option to look at Telangana perspective. How many species are there in Telangana right now? It is 437 species which are reported. How many checklists were created? That kind of details, and what all the pictures, and what all the recent sightings which are happened now, today, 11th, right? These are the real-time data which you get immediately. And who are the top birders and top counties in Telangana, top hotspots. Like I mentioned, right, it is useful for the conservationists, even the forest department. Let's say forest department more interested to see what is happening in Manjira Wildlife Sanctuary. They can go into that. They get the details of entire stuff in one go, and they can submit. These reports can be used for conservation parts later. Okay, by the way, if at all you have any doubts during the session, you stop me right now, because we can have a conversation every time. Question and answers are not at the right time. Whenever you have a doubt, you can stop me there. Okay. And also Explorer will give you details about species map. Let's say you wanted to understand the species, whether that can be seen in some place, right? It gives you an exploration of, again, same species I'm entering, you will get an idea. Or common man. Let me enter. So this is the distribution map of a common manner. You can see how it is distributed in India and how it is spreads in Europe and all that region. You'll get an idea. So any species, right? You wanted to explore, this explore option will give you an option. Search, if you are interested to search photos and everything, that also will, you can do that. Apart from that, you wanted to see the bar charts. Bar charts are nothing else but, let's say in Telangana, you wanted to see how the species distributed in abundance also. Let's say you wanted to know both about the distribution and also its abundance, right? It gives you an option to understand. This gives you for the entire India actually. Now what I selected. Now if you see, right, any species you see, how it is trending across different months. This gives you a quick picture. Let's say lesser within teal in India, you can see throughout the year, and you can see how it is trending in each month. That gives you a tremendous ways of doing that. So this is useful in multiple ways. For scientists, it can be used in a different way. For birder like me, right, I can use this app for, let's say, if I'm planning to visit Assam, right? Let's say I am planning to visit Assam. I wanted to see what all the target species for Assam. I can do that using this target species. So I wanted to see what all birds are my lifers in Assam. So it year around, and this is my life list is what I'm selecting, and show targets. What birds I can see now. And this gives me an option like these are the 67 bird species which are my lifers, which I can target during, and what are the percentage of seeing these birds for me. This is for me, and if you log in, it will be different for you. So every person who logs in has an option. For me, it is 67 birds I can see in Assam. And what are the possibilities? 1.35% is my percentage of seeing a golden headed cisticola, which is my lifer. Okay. So any questions till now?
Yes, Sriram, I had a question.
Okay.
For the eBird, there is something in the app. If you go, it says eBird India.
Okay.
So is that the app one has to download?
Yeah. So this is
Okay.
the app you have. Is it the
Yes,
one you have? Okay.
this is the
So
one. And
yeah.
then also, like if even for the packs, bird packs around you and
Okay.
things like that. So
Yeah.
you can do like, I can do Telangana because right now I'm in Telangana, but then I can keep shifting wherever I go,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. So yeah. Now since you mentioned, right, we'll come back to the app, Farida, because so this is the advantages of whatever you enter over there, it'll come here. This is the web application. Now we'll go back to the app, what you're mentioning, right? So
Right.
any person who downloads app will have this, but along with this, somebody has to download a pack. Okay. So why we need mobile application? Because when you do birding, right? Whenever you do birding, there are chances that you may not have network issues. Let's say that you go to a remote place, still the mobile app has to work. That is the reason you have to download a pack, which is like, let's say you are in Telangana. Okay. Now you are in Telangana, you need to download Telangana pack. This pack will enable you to work offline. Let's say you go to a remote place in Kawal or some place or Khammam where there is no network issue. Still, you can able to create a checklist out of that. Understood, Farida? So Why mobile app? Because I showed you web application, right? Mobile app enables you to create a checklist. Checklist is nothing else but a list of bird species what you observed. So as I said, right, eBird is more useful for showing the list of species. You can, whatever you're observing in your surroundings, you can list those birds using app. So web application, you need mobile network. Network is needed for when to use mobile application. Whereas app, you can work offline also. That is the advantage of using mobile app. So whenever you going, let's say if I visiting Assam, so I need to download Assam pack before I go to Assam. That way I can work remotely. Let's say these are all the packs which are installed for me. So I install all the packs which are needed for my use case. That is the reason I see. But for you, if somebody downloaded for the first time, you will not see any installed packs. But you have to install one of the packs for us for whatever Saturday. Please install Telangana pack. Got it? So eBird also suggests what are the different packs, because if you, this is the suggested packs, because Telangana is where the best for us, and Andhra Pradesh, Karnataka, Maharashtra, Odisha are the borders around Telangana. So it is asking us to download those packs also, if at all somebody wants to do that. Any doubts till now?
I just have a small doubt over here in the login. So
Okay.
when I log in through the web page as well as through the app, eBird directly connects me to the corner lab, right?
Yeah.
So when I do this, I already have a login, but it has two logins with the password. None of the thing is opening. I don't know what might be the reason. It has a username and password enabled, but again, it's not signing in.
So can we sit after this session so that what is your name? Can you ping me
Sure.
after this?
Ashok,
We'll go
Ashok.
through that. Okay,
Yeah.
we'll go through
Shall
this.
I
Ashok, ping.
uninstall it and again reinstall it? I think the
You don't have to do that. You don't have to do that. Okay. Anybody face the same issue?
Hello, sir.
Did anybody face the
Hello.
same issue? Yeah.
Hello. Am I audible?
Yeah, you are audible.
Yes, yes. Actually, I just want to know, there is one quiz on the birds, WWF quiz called World Wisdom Challenge. So that quiz has something related to the same topic. So whether this app is going to be beneficial for the students those who want to participate in WWF quiz?
Yes, you can. You can. It will be useful, but you need to. Birding is a different thing. I'll tell you what is that. Okay. So
Okay,
that is
because what
this.
I could understood by this time that this is for census and the people those who are interested in learning about birds, right?
Apart
Yeah,
from that, you can also learn about the birds also. Okay. Once you.
Take that question 1 minute.
Yeah.
Pritam, this year's quiz theme definitely is birds, and you will come to a lot more about the birds if the app is there.
Okay.
I cannot assure that there will be questions from this app or anything like that. It's just that the theme is birds, and in a way, if you are contributing on this, you start learning about the different birds across different parts of India and all that. Then it's just a chance that maybe 1 or 2 questions you might be able to crack something. That's all.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
So you should clearly, you need to understand what all the different use cases of an app. Okay. App will only enable you to enter checklists offline and also online. So if you want to create an observation, let's say you go into the field, let's say I wanted to start an observation right now. Okay. All I needed to do was start a checklist. Has anybody downloaded any packs like Telangana pack or somebody? You have done that, right? Okay, now if I want to do that, right? Now the important things what is needed for this app is the date. Date and time is what we are trying to do. So date and time is very important, because based on this, some of the birds will be filtered in the next checklist. Let's say I'm starting a checklist. Now this is a checklist. How this checklist came into picture? Because you selected the date and it picks up the current location, which is Hyderabad or Begumpet, and it eBird lists out the possible birds what I can see in this location is listed in this place. Are you guys clear till now? So these are all the birds, the possible birds I can see here in this location, which is like Begumpet. it lists out. Let's say that I am observing now. I went for some of the birds which I can see in Begumpet. I'll list out. Let's say I saw a black kite in the evening, so I'm mentioning these are the 4 black kites I've seen. White-throated kingfisher I've seen. 2 green beaters I've seen. Rose-winged parakeets I've seen them flying. I'll mention those things. House crow I've seen. Few birds. Common tailor bird I've seen. Red-vented bulbul. Common myna. These are some of the birds I have seen in the evening. This is what a checklist is. What is a checklist? A checklist is nothing else but a combination of species, bird species you have seen during this period, which is nothing else but the time. It also records the time. Let's say that I'm done with the checklist. I have seen, I observed birds, let's say for 15 minutes, and I'm stopping it. I'm stopping it. Now it gives you an option. You need to pick up a location, which is it picks up Begumpet location, which is my location. Okay, and then whether this checklist is, there are 4 types of the main 4 types of checklists are traveling. Whether you are traveling, sometimes let's say that you are traveling while doing the birding, right? This comes under traveling checklist. Let's say I'm right now I'm sitting at one place. This becomes a stationary checklist, observation type. So observation types can be multiple types. Okay, one is the traveling. Let's say that you are walking in a path for 1 or 2 kilometers. That comes under traveling. Okay, but if you're sitting at a place and observing birds, that becomes a stationary observation. Whereas incidental is nothing else but your primary objective is not birding, but you're seen, let's say, suddenly you're going on the highway, you're seen 100 flamingos flying on top of you. That becomes an incident because you are reporting an incident. You are not interested in birding, but you have seen an incident. Got it? Understood? The different types of checklists. Okay. Now, in this case, I am creating a stationary checklist because I spent, and how many minutes I spent? Any checklist, right? Minimum, the time which you need to spend was 15 minutes. Sometimes it could be half an hour. Sometimes it could be 1 hour. It could be the minimum checklist time for observing birds is 15 minutes is what eBird suggests. That is the time which you need to select. And let's say that you wanted to submit, and it gives you an option saying that is it the complete list of birds you feel that they are complete. You can select whether it is complete or not complete. It's up to you, and submit. I'm not submitting right now because these are the birds which are not there. But you understood, right, how to create a checklist out of this. Any questions till now? This is what we are going to do it on Saturday. Okay, now
Sriram, there is a question from Nishant. He's
okay.
asking what if it is less than 15 minutes, like if it is only 10 minutes?
You can do that. That checklist will not be considered for analysis. Let's say eBird uses for insights for sometimes at the year of the end. Every time, right? This is based on taking, right? You can report for 5 minutes also. You can report for 2 minutes also. But those checklists will not be considered for analysis. But you can report, no issues. There is no fixed timing. Let's say it becomes an incident. It means that, let's say, you can report in a minute. It becomes an incident, not a complete birding experience, right? You can make it as an incident and submit the checklist. No issues. There are no restrictions at all. What type of it is. You can do it for 2 minutes, 5 minutes, everything. No issues. Sometimes we do checklist for 4 hours, 5 hours also. Because you are spending in the field for 4 hours, you can enter that also. But ideally, what eBird recommends was 15 minutes because what signifies was every 15 minutes, there will be, let's say at 7:20 p.m., there is some kind of activity. Let's say in the mornings, the activity will be completely different. Got it? The time also plays a critical role for eBird. The date, time are the 2 critical things, and the place. Okay. Any questions, further questions? Okay, now in the app, so that is how you create a checklist. After that, in the app also, you have 2 types of submitted checklist and non-submitted checklist. Submitted checklists are the ones you submit online. So to submit online, you need network issue. Okay, you need network to submit. You need internet connection to submit. These are all my checklists which are submitted in the these are all the checklists I use mobile to create checklists. This is all submitted. But there are some checklists which I created but I didn't submit. Let's say the one which I created, right? This is for a sample one I created. I have no intention of submitting it. So I leave it in my mobile app. Okay. And apart from that, there is an explore option in the eBird app, which is actually very useful. Let's say that I wanted to see what are all birds which are surrounding my region. So this gives you a quick view. Say, let's say I'm from Begumpet. So it is giving me the species which are observed around my place here. Understood? And any targets for me, there are 0 targets for me. But if you log in, right, there will be definitely, since you are using for the first time, you will see a complete list of 66 targets. The species which are observed in Begumpet are 66 species. All your species will become your targets because you haven't entered any data. For me, it is I have seen all the 66 species. That is the reason my target is 0. And it is saying that there are 43 hotspots around my place. So what are hotspots? Spots are nothing else but the birding regions, which are like some people, let's say I go to Sanjivaya Park. So I can make that as hotspot because you feel that that place has good number of birds, which you wanted to make it as hotspot. So that will become accessible for others also to see that there are hotspots. Now, in this case, in Begumpet surroundings, it shows that there are 43 hotspots around my place, around some region. So you can edit this also. So let's say that I can increase this radius to 30 kilometers. Then I'll get, let's say this is for, and I'll removing this life list. Let's say for me, I'm keeping it as Begumpet or Telangana. Okay. Now it changes. Now, since I moved circle to 30 kilometers, it's showing a greater area and where all the different hotspots you can see. And you can click that to get more details, saying that Kondapur Botanical Garden has 139 species which are reported and 67 are likely to be seen in the last 30 days. Understood? This is the life list. Yeah. Any questions? Okay, now when you click Gandipet is one of the most important hotspots for Telangana. Now you see there are 283 species which are reported from Usman Sagar, and right now likely species are in this May. There are possible species of seeing are 132 species out of 283 because there are winter visitors during winter which you cannot see it now. Okay, so these are the advantages of a mobile app. Any questions till now?
I just have one question here.
Yeah, okay.
I just want to know whether the Cornell Lab of Ornithology, that Merlin bird ID and eBird, whether both are same or they are different. If it is different, in which aspect?
Okay, so now as I mentioned, right? So all work together. Cornell Lab, Merlin app, eBird, both work together. The data you submit in eBird will be used in Merlin. Okay, Merlin has a specific use case, which is like if you observe, right, Merlin is useful to understand birds, to identify birds by photo ID. This is the Merlin app. Again, you need to download packs, like how you downloaded packs for Indian bird. Here also you need to, here also you need to download packs. These packs are different from Indian packs. Okay, so here these packs will give you data. Okay, now let's say that you wanted to explore birds, right? Merlin will give you photos and some description and its distribution. Okay, along with that, let's say you click the picture, let's say a picture of a bird, right? You can identify the bird using the picture. That Merlin will do. But how Merlin is doing, it is picking up all the data which is there in eBird and it gives you here. Even now for me, right, since I logged in, the same ID what you used for eBird, right? That same ID you can use it here also. Got it? You don't have to create a separate email, separate login ID for eBird and Merlin. Both the ID which you created for eBird is used here also. Understood? You don't need to create a separate one. Okay, and here it is a separate use case. Without login also Merlin works, but if you log in, it gives you an option like customized option. In this case, can you guys see a kind of a blue tick for me? Some blue tick around the bird. It means that I have seen that bird and it is listing. It is getting the data from eBird and it is showing me here what are my life list here. And the blue tick which shows that these are the birds I've already seen. And the birds like Bayer's pochard, I didn't see it. That is the reason it is not marked. Understood? Okay, we'll discuss about Merlin also. Merlin is also very important tool. So somebody who wants to pick up birding, right? So Merlin is an amazing tool to learn about birds, and you wanted to identify a bird, you can use Merlin for that. And let's say that sometimes what happens if you go to a field, okay, and you don't have camera, but you have clearly seen the bird, then Merlin will help you to identify the bird if you describe it properly. Got it? That also Merlin will do. We'll come to this later. Once I'll tell you about how to identify birds and everything, I'll cover this point. So till now, anybody has any doubts about eBird app?
There are no questions as yet on the chat also. Sriram, you can
Okay,
continue.
so
Hello.
yeah,
Sriram, can you? Who's hello? Can you hear me? This is Kobita. I'd like to ask some question. So people have for some reason, you know, I don't
Babita,
have
Kobita, you are breaking
and
up,
I
Kobita.
haven't-
yeah,
Uh,
Kobita, your
I'm sorry,
voice is
my-
breaking up.
My connection is really bad. I'm
Yeah.
sorry, connection very bad. We don't have power. Is it better now? Is it better?
Slightly better, yeah.
Sorry. Can I add my checklist later? Like, you know, all the time. How do one do that? Because when it says start checklist, it's like, you know, recording the particular time when I started. What if I have noted, you know, certain birds or I'm, you know, not able to access on the internet where I am? Can I add these the list later?
Yeah, so yeah, Kobita, first thing I was telling
One-
about, let me tell you, mobile app of eBird, this app, whatever I was showing, will help you when there is no network
Yes,
also, you can
yes.
enter, you can create checklist. There is no restriction. Okay. So this app is mainly useful for places where there is no network connection. So that is the first thing you should remember.
Okay.
Everybody should remember. App is
Oh.
mainly useful in the places where there is no network. But before that, you need to download the pack or wherever, let's say, if you are in birding in Telangana, you should download, you should install Telangana pack. Okay, that is one thing you need to do. Okay, once you install the pack, you can do birding in Telangana. Let's say you're going to Karnataka, you should download a pack for Karnataka. That is one thing you need to do. Okay, then it will enable you to track. It will record track. It means that it will give you your GPS track also will be noted. Even though there is no network, it will pick up. Only thing is you can only submit the checklist when you have network.
Okay. What about the place, the sort of latitude? Will it register the latitude and longitude? Sorry. Hello.
So, can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So, so as I mentioned, right, app is only useful when you are entering a checklist offline and also when there is no network. Okay, that is the main advantage of mobile app. Okay, that we need to be very clear why exactly you are using it. So once you submit, right, let's say the checklist which is submitted, let's say on May 10th, this is also will be shown in the power of eBird is in the web app actually. Okay, when I go to my eBird, right? Okay, this is where you see all the, I mean, all the details, insights, everything, whatever I did. Okay, let's say this is what the checklist which I created from mobile app, it came here. Okay, and the details are being shown here. Let's say these are all the checklists which I created in the last whatever is the time. Okay, and these are my stats. When you log in, you get your own stats. Okay, that 1034 species are what I've seen from India. Okay, and if I'm interested in only in Telangana, okay, so for any person who logs in for now for the first time, this one will be empty for you all. It will be 0.
Right.
But since you start recording data, like checklist, once you create data checklist and everything, this starts filling. This is the actual whatever is the details of your personalized details. eBird will give you everything. Got it?
Oh.
So this is 2023. How many birds have seen? 2022. How many birds have seen till May? That details it is showing in Telangana. Okay,
Wow.
and district, and it is giving me district wise list of birds I have seen in this year, the life count and the month. It will give you the details. You don't have to do anything. All you need to do was create checklist. That is your duty. Just enter the data, and eBird will enable you to come up with this data. If you have years of data, it will help you. This is my data, but this is accessible for you also. How it is accessible for you? All you need to do was go, and let's say you're more interested in seeing how is Hyderabad doing. Okay, go and search for Hyderabad. Okay, now this will give you, this is accessible for all of you guys. You can see, and these are the list of species which you can see. This is reported on 10th, and each bird, and if you click that, you get the details of each bird, and the photographs which are uploaded are shown there, and this is complete list. Okay, so I think it's better, you guys, you all should try to use it as far as you can. I'll see. And the important thing is, as I mentioned, right, you can plan your birding trips very well for this bird. For birders, it can be used. For let's say for forest department, right? If they are interested to see how Kawal is doing in this time, how let's say, of course, based on the data. So let's say you are interested in seeing the Kawal data. So you can also go for, let's say you go for Telangana. Let's research more about Telangana and see what are the different hotspots which are there in Telangana. Now, if you go to hotspots, these are the top hotspots in Telangana. Now you see, this gives you the top 100 hotspots in Telangana. Okay, the place where we are going, let's say that we are going to Oxygen Park, right? Okay, Kandlakoya Oxygen. Now this is Kandlakoya exactly is there at 100. Let's say what all the birds are seen at what are the likely birds we can see in Kandlakoya, and what are the last time somebody has reported something from Kandlakoya, it is January 23, and these are the birds, likely birds we can see. So you have information and your fingertips. So eBird will gives you this option of what you can see, and it gives you, let's say you're more interested in Kawal. This is one of the hotspots in Kawal. Bison Kunta is one of the hotspots. You guys can see it. Let's say you're planning to go to Kawal. Bison Kunta is one of the hotspots. You can visit that. This gives you an option. What are the birds you can see at Bison Kunta that you can plan. Let's say somebody might be interested to see graded fishing gill. You guys can get those details and plan to target those birds during your visit. Okay, any questions still now? Okay, so now the other thing, very important thing is, now the eBird has added a science as one of the stuff, one of the links. Science is more useful for finding, let's say you are interested, the details again. You might be thinking that how your data is useful, right? This is used in eBird science. Let's say you are interested to see trends of a bird, let's say red-vented bulbul. Again, I'm entering red-vented bulbul. I think I entered something like. So this works actually very well in desktop, whereas in mobile, it is not that. Of course, it works well, but much better in. So this is how the distribution of a red-vented bulbul. So now you can see how in Telangana, if you go closely, it is seen everywhere in Telangana. Red-vented bulbul is the most frequently seen, and completely you can see, you get that. See, this is what the science is. You get the abundance of this, and also you can see the range. Range, it is completely in entire Telangana. You can see its range. Let's say it has a cousin, red-whiskered bulbul. Have anybody seen red-whiskered bulbul? If you visit Karnataka somewhere, you'll see it. But if you see red-whiskered bulbul, the same bulbul in Telangana, it is not present entirely. only down south in some region near Ahmedabad you see, and towards east, towards Khammam is where it is seen. Rest of the places, red biscuit bulbul is not seen around Hyderabad and other regions, whereas it is in abundance in Andhra, in some parts of Andhra, Vizag and Srikakulam, and in Karnataka and all these places. So you see how the details what you entered or what we contributed, how it is actually helping the science. And this is how it works. eBird is extremely powerful tool, easy, simple in a simple way, because you can enter details offline, online, whatever it is. And it becomes powerful because millions and millions of people started contributing. It's already every year there is a 20% increase of users in eBird. Any questions till now?
Yes,
We
Sriram.
can take a pause. Yeah.
Yeah, this science you have gone through the web portal, no, not through the mobile app.
Mobile app, yeah. Farid, the only advantage of mobile app is for entering offline details.
Okay.
And it is only for bird watching, because that is what, and it is designed for offline capabilities, not for online.
Online.
So it's because it is the main thing was to enter details when there is no network.
Sure.
Okay? That
So
is the only reason.
So the science part I can only get when I go to the.
When you go to the same eBird ID, so that once you create an ID, right, Farida, that eBird ID can be used in web, mobile app, and also Merlin. Merlin is also very useful. The same eBird ID can be used. Understood? But all three are different use cases.
Right.
One is for identification, one for submission of checklist, and the other one is for science exploration. You're planning whatever you wanted to do a birding. It helps you to plan something, and you wanted to learn about a bird, you can do that. And there is one more website called birdsoftheworld.org. That also, if you create an ID, right, the same ID can be used in birdsoftheworld.org. It's the same corner lab, but this gives you detailed description. If somebody is interested to understand complete behavior of a single bird, okay, then you can use these birds of the world. So how it is different? Now, if you see, I'm searching, I'm logging into same ID what you created. Now it gives you, see this, of red-banded bulbul, how to identify red-banded bulbul, what are the different plumages. Plumages are nothing else but in, let's say, first year it looks one thing, second year it might look different, and measurements, geographic variations, subspecies of red-banded bulbul, and is there any hybrids of red-banded bulbul, how it is distributed, what is the habitat of red-banded bulbul, and what it eats, what is the diet, what is the nutrition, what is the behavior of a red-banded bulbul, how, whether it is sexually different or not. Everything is mentioned of one species. Detailed stuff when somebody who is completely into birds, right? So birds of the world will give you the same stuff. Let's say I clicked habitat of a red-banded bulbul, it gives you all that stuff, whatever is needed. And it is more like for people who are completely into science and everything, who are completely want to study birds, all these will work together to make it, but all with one ID. Okay.
Yeah, thanks, Sriram.
Okay. Any questions till now?
Hello, sir.
Yeah.
It's Rajdeep this side. My question is, while I am birding at the same time, if I am clicking pictures with my DSLR, how could I add it at the time?
Okay.
Or
Good question. Yeah. Good question. Yeah. So the thing is, you can't add images through mobile app. There is a reason for that, because mobile app is designed for offline application. So the thing is, when you're doing birding, right, you create checklist here, submit. Okay. Then you need to come to this place. Okay. Let's say I wanted to add images, right? Because birding is slightly different than iNaturalist. iNaturalist, you know, right? When you can directly submit immediately. Okay. But when it comes to birding needs something specialized equipment. One is a DSLR with slightly zoom lens. Okay. So you come home, you copy the pictures because birds are usually far. You copy the pictures, and here in every checklist, you have an option to add media. Okay. Now let's say you click the picture of a spotted dove. Okay. You can add image of that. Let's say any of the pictures. You select your picture and add it. Got it? There is an add media button. You need to click that button from the checklist and add the photographs. And also it is similarly, you can add calls also. Calls are also you can add. Let's say you record calls of a bird. Let's say I also record a lot of bird calls. You can add, let's say, add record calls, or you can use any recording device. Let's say voice recorder. You record calls, right? So some of the calls you can add that. Let's say in this case, this is one of the
Yeah, can't hear. I think he got muted. Sriram, I asked you to unmute yourself. Sriram? I think he doesn't realize he's on mute.
Sriram, your voice is muted.
I doubt he can check. He's good. I think he's Sriram. Can everyone hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Yes, ma'am, we can hear you.
Yes, Sriram.
Then I don't know what's wrong with Sriram's.
Sriram has to unmute. I think he is not doing that. If you have a mobile phone, you can just call him and tell him that.
He's using the same mobile, to share the screen.
Yeah, he's sharing screen, so he may not be seeing our messages actually.
No, you can call if you have his number. You can just call him and tell him.
Okay.
That would be better.
Yeah, he didn't realize that we are not able to hear him.
Maybe the host of the meeting can unmute Sriram.
hello. Can you guys see me?
Now it is audible.
Yes, now we can hear
Am I
you.
audible now?
Yes,
Yes,
we
yes.
can hear you.
Oh, okay. So where did I stop actually? I till where, Merlin?
You said Merlin start bird ID. Yes.
Okay. So what I'm saying was, so let's say that you have seen a bird, okay? But you don't have a picture and you didn't record the call, but still you wanted to identify. So Merlin will help you to identify the bird if you remember some of the primary things, which is like, let's say that I have seen a bird, let's say from Begumpet. I'm picking up the current location. And what day did you observe? Because this is also very important. Let's say you have seen a bird in January, it filters some of the birds. In this case, the May is today, which I have observed. Okay. And what is the first thing you have to remember was always you have to fix the size. What you need to observe the size of the bird. In this case, I'm saying that these are the 4 primary sizes. Let's say the sparrow. Let's say you have seen a bird, you have to relate whether it is smaller than sparrow or bigger than sparrow. You have to mention that. And next size, what it is mentioned was the blackbird. In our case, you can think that blackbird is a minor. Think that it is slightly minor size, smaller than minor or bigger than minor. After that, you have crow size, bigger than crow or smaller than crow. And you have goose. Goose is nothing but like a duck. Okay, bigger than duck or smaller than duck. Okay. Now, in this case, I have seen a bird which is slightly bigger than sparrow. That is the reason I selected this between sparrow and duck. Next thing you have to see was what colors you have observed in the bird. In this case, I have seen my bird, what I observed has a black color, something grayish color, and also red color. Okay. These are the 3 colors I observed. Let's say sometimes you might observe a single color or 2 colors. 2 colors is what actually narrows down the thing. After that, you need to see the behavior of the bird. Behavior of the bird, sometimes you might see a bird which is always in the bushes. Sometimes it is always on the ground. Sometimes it is swimming. Sometimes it is eating at a feeder. Sometimes it is flying over. So in this case, I have seen a bird in bushes and ask it to identify. And it gives you a list of birds which has those features. In this case, my bird is, I've seen red color, grayish color, and and black color. These are the colors. My bird is red-vented bulbul. But if your bird is something else, you can select that from the list. Understood? Hello? Am I audible or again I missed?
No, Sriram, you are audible. I think that's fine.
Okay, fine. So this is how you can identify when you don't have a picture or a recording. Merlin will help you to identify bird based on how well you have seen that. Okay, that is how we use Merlin. And this, whatever, let's say that you identified this one. Let's say you have a picture of a bird. You can identify the picture using, let's say, a gallery also you can use to identify some of the birds. So let's say that this is one bird I have seen. The same thing. Location is very important because that actually filters and the date. And this is how it identifies by, this is similar to iNaturalist. Probably you might have seen in iNaturalist, right? It is similar to iNaturalist. Okay, but this is more accurate because this purpose of Merlin is only to identify birds, and it is actually very useful, extremely useful. 90% of the time it correctly identifies all the Indian species now. Extremely powerful tool. Sound ID is actually evolving right now. Merlin also helps you to identify calls. If you recorded a call, you can record that, or you can record it right now. And you can try to identify. But right now, there are no birds in my place. It will can identify. But sound ID is evolving right now. Only 100 species is what Merlin has identified, but it will go further now. Explore birds anywhere you have seen. You wanted to learn about any bird, you wanted to understand its call. It helps you to understand the calls and everything, and learn about some basic stuff about and how it is. Merlin will give you that. Okay. Any questions?
Hi, Sriram. So
Yeah.
there is one question. Most of the times in jungle, we are not able to sight the birds. Okay, we hear more calls. Okay.
Yeah.
If there is an overlap of calls between two birds and I record
Yeah.
it, okay. Do you
Hmm.
think which app will be the best one? Whether I can go for eBird and or Merlin? Because both have
So,
option of getting the what do you say recordings.
so there are two things. Let's say overlapping of records are there. Then it is better for you to actually pick up a point where you can one call what is prominent. It picks up. Okay. Sometimes it could be wrong. Okay. But you know, right now, let's say that it gives you an option saying that it is red-banded bulbul. Now you go to red-banded bulbul. Okay. Go to red-banded bulbul. Sorry. Oh. And hear the call. This is the actual call of a red-banded bulbul. Okay. Now the recording you have, and it suggested red-banded bulbul. Now you know whether it is red-banded bulbul or not. But calls, as I said, right, every bird has multiple calls. Okay. Always better to confirm IDs of calls through putting it in some of the groups, which could be our group or somebody. Let's say if you are from Hyderabad, we have a group called eBird of Hyderabad where you can put that call. We can identify that bird. Understood?
Okay, thank you.
Sriram, there is a question by Kobita. What
Okay.
if I have just stopped birding and submitted my checklist, but then I sight a bird? Is it possible to add the species later?
Yeah, you can. Any time, right? At any point of time, you can edit your checklist. You can edit your checklist by mobile app, and also this is mobile app. Also, you can edit a checklist. Let's say I submitted this checklist. Okay, I can still edit the checklist. Okay, let's say that you can edit any details now or later, whatever. You can change the time. Let's say you initially you did for 550 minutes, but you extended to 30 minutes. You can add that details. Okay, so changes can be done multiple times. Okay, there is no specific stuff you can submit. Let's say your intention is to record. Let's say sometimes what I do, I am more interested in recording a place. My intention is I like the place. Okay, I wanted to track that place. eBird has an option of tracking the place, so it gives you an important stuff. Let's say I'll give you one example. Let's say we visited a place last week at let me go to my checklist. I'll show you. We went to Adilabad. Okay, in that one place is very interesting place. So we took the recording of that place. Let me show. Okay, Tekira Lake. Okay, this is one thing. Now, can you see how it recorded our walking path? So this is what we did on that day. So eBird, since we used mobile app, it records your GPS position and how we traveled. Everything is everything is tracked. And now, if I wanted to go to the same place, okay, all I can do was I can open it in Google Maps, and I can go to that place. Again, got it? So if I want to hide, I can hide. And another beauty of this, let's say that 10 people go for birding, right? So one person can create checklist. Okay, in this case, I created a checklist. I wanted to share with all the 9 members who attended that walk. I can share it with their eBird IDs. Once I share it with them, they get their own checklist and they can edit their checklist. Let's say I've seen 70 species from this Tekria Lake, but there are 4 more people who came with me. So they didn't find time to create checklist. All I can do was I can share this checklist with the remaining 4 people. Once I share, they get it in their eBird ID. There they can edit. They might have seen more than me. Let's say I've seen 76 species. Somebody might have seen 80 species. Some person in the group might have seen 60 species. They can edit the species based on what they're saying. But one person created checklist, but he shared with others. Okay, so sharing of checklist is also a useful feature in eBird, which we might do it on Saturday, but I think we'll suggest to create their own checklist on Saturday. Any further questions?
sir, it's Rajdeep again.
Yeah.
Sir, for the raptors, birds of prey, they
Okay.
just fly so high, and
Yeah.
sometimes we cannot even recognize them. We just have the shadow-like structure.
Okay.
So for them, if there is any technique to
Okay.
identify
So
them.
yeah, so it is a bigger topic, which is like we will go in detail about birds identification. Let's say raptors. Now, any bird which flies in the cities, I'm giving an example. Any bird which flies in the cities, with experience, you will understand that it's a black-head, because this during the period, now in the cities, only one bird which you see it, which is black-head, because that is how you start birding, you'll understand. But once you go slightly away from city and you're birding in some place, you have to look at the shilots, because that's how the birds will see, right? Let's say you go to Merlin also, let's say black kite. Every raptor, there will be flying shot. Okay. And so this is this is how you're going to see. And you see a forktail, this is the forktail. It is a primary feature of identifying a black kite. Okay, because black kite is one of the very few birds which has a forktail. That is one pointer which we use to identify birds. Okay, but we'll have a detailed session. If somebody is interested to know identifying birds and everything, we can have detailed sessions around that. And also field, let's say on Saturday, right? If you attend, you will understand more when you have a conversation with the experienced birders. That is also one way to learn quickly. Okay, attending a lot of field works will help you. Whatever we are going to discuss now, it might not be useful, but come for a bird work, understand how it can be identified. Some birds can be identified easily by call. Sometimes you report by call itself, you may not see it. That you will get with some experience. Okay, and
Okay,
features,
sir.
whatever it's saying. Maybe if for the new people, Saturday is very useful. Don't miss that. Come over there, and you will be interacting with some of the people like me and Gopal. I think also joined. Gopal will also be there, so will help you, and also few others who are. And HVP is also participating. The people from HVP will help you, and Deccan Birders, if at all somebody joins, they will also help you, because we travel every week in search of birds. We have slightly better knowledge. Okay, so it will help you for new people.
Okay, sure. Thank you.
Sriram, there is another question by Vivan.
Okay.
He's asking whether a video clip can be uploaded on bird can be uploaded.
Yeah, you can upload the same way where I showed you, right? Let's say you wanted to upload add media, you can use the same stuff to enter photo, audio, and also video. All the three can be done. Okay. Let's say in this case, I'll show you some checklist where we uploaded images. Probably you'll get an idea. So one more thing you should remember was eBird ID. eBird will give you, let's say in this place, right? When I'm entering. So first it lists out the possible species which are seen in this place. Okay. After that, you can see. Can you guys see this small orangish with a kind of orange dot around the species, which are like infrequent species, which are not reported, not regularly reported from this. After this, okay, there is a red symbols you will see. These are not reported or not seen from this location. But there are chances of seeing. Let's say if I am reporting painted sparkle from this region, it means that it needs a proof at eBird to confirm that species. Okay, all bird species may not require a proof, but any bird which is not seen or which is filtered by eBird needs a proof. You need to enter picture to confirm the ID. Let's say in this case, if I enter rockbush quail from Begumpet, it is highly unlikely in this place. In Begumpet, rockbush quail is not, it cannot be seen. Jungle bush quail, rockbush quail cannot be seen. If at all it is seen, then a proof is needed to accept that in the eBird. Okay, this is one thing you should be careful. Okay, but eBird never, I mean, never restricts you to enter any species. It allows you to enter any species, whatever you've seen. But it will be filtered at multiple levels. One at filters level. After that, reviewers. There are Telangana reviewers who actually monitor the data which is entered. If at all Telangana reviewer also accept, at India level again there is a filter kind of reviewers who actually check that the second level of review, and there is a third level at global level. Again, at global level, after everybody accepts, maybe at global level, sometimes and after a year, once it might be rejected, and again it comes back because of, let's say, it's mostly because of the distribution, or the image may not be accurate or something like that. So eBird, like I mentioned, right, it is driven by multiple reviewers at multiple levels. So the data, whatever we're going to see, is actually accurate, and it gives you real-time data. So any person, whether you are a scientist or a bird watcher or a student, you wanted to get a conservationist or a forest official, eBird is extremely useful and powerful. That's how I wanted to define. Very useful for foresters. Let's say somebody wants to conserve a forest or wants to see what are the birds which are there in their stuff. This gives you a real-time stuff. Okay. Any other questions?
As of now, nothing on the chat box unless somebody wants to unmute and ask.
Yeah, probably you can ping me anytime. Okay, ping me anytime. We can discuss about in anyway. Saturday, if you guys are coming, we'll have a field trip. Field trips are very essential for birding, especially. And if you're birding with some experienced person, you'll learn quickly and it will be extremely useful. Once you get addicted to bird watching, I'm pretty sure you're not going to miss that. Okay, it's extremely useful for you, for everybody, for government.
Ram, just this is Raghuveer here. I just wanted to know 13th what is going to happen? Like you expect, I mean, a new entrant into this birding comes there, maybe with a smartphone loaded with eBird and probably Merlin app. Okay.
Okay.
And you expect the first step is that they will prepare a checklist on their own, or
so we will be there. There will be
they may not be even knowing which bird is what and what it is, and when you have a 15-minute timer, does it not add tension to them within 15 minutes?
So there would be
checklist.
It will be,
So is it possible to take it a little bit more leisurely and say, or you can have multiple checklists of every 15 minutes and then say 15
there
minutes
is no
you
rush.
may recognize only one bird, others you don't know. So by the time you check what bird it is through Merlin app, maybe 15 minutes is over. So
on that day, sir,
just take us through that process for a new user. What is it
so
going
on that
to be
day, definitely they will be, let's say we'll divide experienced birders and the newcomers. Newcomers will be accompanied with an experienced person. Okay, let's say that I'll be leading, some other teams will be leading. They will be going together and we try to spot as many birds as we can in that period, and during that period the newcomer will learn to identify some of the birds. And whenever, let's say that I say a bird, they can actually see the bird. Instead of smartphones, the best smartphones is for entering data, but I suggest to bring binoculars. Binoculars are extremely useful for watching the birds. Birds with a naked eye, better than naked eye, the binoculars is more useful. Binoculars, if they have it, they should bring. That is more than enough. They can see, observe, and understand. Maybe they learn 5-10 birds. That is more than enough for that day. Enter those 5-10 birds, create a checklist, learn how to create a checklist, and after this is done, they can go to their homes, observe birds around their place, create one more checklist. This is a continuous process, Raghuveer. So not a one-day event, but this is the starting for them. There is no rush for them. They can happily enjoy the birding part, whether they create a checklist or not. If they create a checklist, it is useful. If they pick up, it will be wonderful. Okay, but there will be people who can help them for sure on that day. And pretty sure at any place in Hyderabad, there will be at least 30-40 species you can see. That I'm pretty sure. They might see at least 15-20 species. That is the guarantee they can see. If they learn 10 out of that, that is wonderful.
Okay, so every checklist with certain observations will count towards the observations recorded in Telangana.
Yeah,
That's what
it will
is.
come. Yeah, it will come under that hotspot of.
Because the other day, Faridaji was concerned that hardly any observations are there in Telangana
Yeah.
compared to other
Yeah,
states.
yeah, that is
So,
true.
so
Kerala
how
and
do
Karnataka, yeah, Tamil Nadu are far ahead when it comes to the
okay.
data.
So,
If
so
yeah,
for that to improve, first is that of course initiation process of the new entrants. Second is
yeah,
they should build the checklist.
yeah, they
Because it
should
is a
build the checklist.
checklist that is going to, but again, it is their word against the rest, isn't it? See, that fellow
No,
may not be able to recognize a particular bird, but may wrongly put in another bird in the checklist.
yeah,
And it is also available in the locality, so it will be taken. So how the quality of the data is actually affected by such checklists?
yeah. So the review, let's say I mentioned, right? A review is done at multiple levels. Right? In this case,
No, these birds are
yeah,
available there, but they might not have seen. But okay, picked up because the when you say the checklist means it is giving some
yeah,
70 species. I go
yeah,
on randomly picking some every
yeah, got
third
it. Yeah,
species and
so
say
yeah, got it.
that. How do you validate such data?
So,
I mean, that's what I was concerned.
yeah, so that is the reason whenever somebody starts, right? So as I said, right, they should know that there is no competition. Okay, there are no winners for creating 100 or 200 species.
Yeah.
The thing they should remember was how they're actually every bird matters. Okay, let's say the bird what they see. So there is no competition on even on 13. There is no competition that you get what is that? If you create X number of checklists, you're going to get something. Nothing is like that. Okay, they should pick it up as a hobby and they should do it for a longer period. Let's say that they should know that there is a tool called eBird which they can use it. Maybe they may not use it now, but let's say that they visited a place a month later, okay, and they seen some bird. There is a tool called eBird, there is a tool called Merlin, there is a tool called recording tool. All that once they know it, they should report it because the data is very important. A single bird, eBird says that every bird counts. Okay, every bird, even though it's single bird at your residence, it is your. I mean, if it is a duty of the citizen to report that. That way, you are trying to cover the entire stuff. It is there is nothing called first and second, third, Raghuveer, but it
So
has to help.
Ram, this backyard bird count which used to be there sometime back, is it
Yeah.
an offshoot of this or what?
So eBird actually runs these multiple in a year. They have major events like during birding season. Backyard bird count is an example where they help you to record. Now this is endemic bird count, which is like they now the end of winter visitors are gone. Whatever birds you're seeing now will be resident birds which are endemic to this place. So this is what that is the reason of running this. The backyard count is where the main primary objective is to report birds which are surrounding your park. Apart from that, there is another event called campus birding where the campuses in Hyderabad and Telangana can register for that and start documenting in the campuses. Let's say that Usmania University, a campus is there, IIIT, all these are campuses. Because it is restricted, people inside them can document the birds in that place. And also there will be a kind of winter visiting. During winters, there will be an event where our primary objective is to report. And eBird, every month there is different kinds of what is that events which is going to happen, which will be there in the eBird site. Let's say if you go to eBird, right? The main page itself will give you saying the global bird count and what exactly it is on 13. You can see that and how you need to start. And this will help is also very important. If somebody wants to learn about, right, they'll give you everything about that. Similarly, some event is going to happen. It will be listed here, and also there are people, regional people who tells you. Let's say in the global event. Whereas in India, eBird Bird Count India is in charge of Indian events. They will mention those things. Everything will be there, but as I mentioned, right, mostly there are reviewers who help, who actually track all this stuff, but it is the responsibility of individual. There is that you should understand that whatever you are doing it for your own good case and also for the Telangana state and for India, whatever it is.
Okay. Let's see what happens, because 13th we are just going to Aminpur Lake. I think Mr. Praveen Rao is there. He's a regular bird watcher, so he said he would guide the group. Okay, so from HMT colony side, we just wanted to explore in the morning.
So you can use this there.
Yeah, so, and then that's what I'm saying. And then most of the people who will be joining will be first time birders, so sort of a thing. So I was thinking what sort of inputs we should be giving to them.
So ask them to take it slowly. Important thing.
Sriram, can I supplement what you said?
Yeah.
Basically, Raghu, you are just a little confused. It is not just 15 minutes window, it is minimum 15 minutes. And you can have as much time as you can on that day.
No, the checklists are all uniform, or it is only 15-minute interval checklist?
You can create 1 hour, 2 hours, 3 hours, doesn't matter.
Minimum 15 minutes, why they said is, in place, at least if you observe for 15 minutes, you'll find some birds. Okay.
Yeah.
Second is, you need not upload all the birds you have seen in that spot at the same time. Got some observations, come back home, confirm the observation. Even then you can upload in the same checklist. Yeah. There is a provision for editing it. You can do even that.
So let's say that Raghuveer, you have seen 5 positive species on the spot. You submit those 5 species. But you might have taken 10 bird pictures or recorded some birds. You can update it later in the same checklist. You can update, you can add species, remove species. Let's say you misidentified one species. You felt that it is not the one. You can remove that species. You can add something. Those things can also be done.
Actually, let's see how it goes. So basically, we just wanted to expand the network of birders in Hyderabad. So we invited a few first timers. So I thought, how do we make them?
Sriram, just have a couple of questions.
No, there are just Ashok, 1 minute. There are some questions in the chat box. Rohit Jain, you are asking where is the field trip on Saturday, Sanjay one. So I guess you are from Delhi. I will need to check. I think there is something being organized in Sanjay one on Saturday by the WWF team. If you can give us your number, I don't know how to reach you, then I can let you know. And Sriram, if you can put your email ID and phone number in the chat box, there are some people who want to know how to contact you for further questions.
Sure. Okay. I'll put it in the group. 1 second.
Thank you. Yeah, Ashok, you can go ahead.
So recently, I just come across one incident that near the Indra Park, where there is hybrid ducks from somewhere near the home or anywhere. The people have come and dropped in the water body inside the urban park. So what happened? People go take a photograph and update it. So what happens is, even though it's not native or it's not from India, they add it. How to resolve those issues?
So eBird. Pardon. There are you can report those species. Okay. But it becomes exotic species. Okay, there is an option automatically eBird detects an exotic species. Okay, so let's say that exotic species example, let's say red-breasted parakeet is an exotic species because it is not native to this place. Even the feral pigeon, the pigeons, whatever you're seeing, right? Okay, even that is not a resident species. Okay, it is like it is actually kind of a rocky habitat. It came and it came, and it is. I'll show you that.
Guinea fowl.
Yeah. Gopal, you're saying,
Yeah, helmeted guinea fowl. The guinea fowl, which is now raised amongst people, is actually a species which is coming from Africa.
Yeah. So you can still report them, but it will not be used for any of these scientific reasons. Okay. Only thing you are reporting was, so they are actually, you will report it, but it becomes an exotic species in eBird, which will not be used for any others abundance, insights and other stuff.
Okay, and the last one is that, say I just encountered a bird and I took a photograph. Due to some other issues of the sunlight, I got that, like the what do you say? It's even though it's blurred or photo was not clear. So I would like to share this to someone in the eBird team whom I know. I have a ID. Okay, I can just share the photograph directly so that they can ID.
Are you from Hyderabad?
If I can share it to you.
Are you from Hyderabad?
Hello.
Are you from Hyderabad?
Sriram, he's my colleague at WPF.
Oh, okay, so we created a group. Farida, probably you can add him into the eBirders Telangana group. Probably there we discuss about, let's say you're not clear about an ID, right? You can post it in the group. We'll try to identify the bird. Understood? There are people who can try to identify, or you can discuss with one of us.
Due to the sunlight and other things, no, it comes like silhouette kind of thing. So I feel that if I want to share it with somebody, then again the size of the bird and everything comes into the picture.
Yeah. You can discuss with one of us. Okay. So even silhouette will help to identify a bird. Do not worry about this. But if you remember the bird well in the field, we can help you to identify that.
Okay. Fine.
Okay. Okay. Ultimately, it is you who has seen in the field. We'll give you an option. You look into that and find out whether it is related to that bird or not. Okay. So we have a group who can help you. Me, I can help you. Gopal is there. Gopal can also help you. Similarly, you can share with them.
Sriram, there are no more questions on the chat. Okay. So if nobody else put questions, we can close for the evening.
Sure. Okay, then hope you got some insights. Probably on Saturday we'll sit. And if at all anything is there, we can again say maybe bird watching, right? Identification and everything is a big topic. We'll cover if at all needed. We can have regular sessions and bird watching.
Sriram, sorry to interrupt. Can you hear me? Sorry.
Yeah.
Kavita here again.
Yeah, Kavita.
Sriram, I just posted a question in chat. This is if I finished birding and submitted my checklist, and I see a couple of species or one, can I add it later?
Yeah, you can add, edit, delete, everything. You can do it later.
Okay, great. Okay,
everything can be done. It can be done. You can edit, delete, add, anything can be done.
Okay, we asked a question, but I think you missed that one.
Yeah, you missed that.
I'm sorry.
I'm so sorry. I answered that also. Yeah.
Seem to be having a lot of issues. No. Power and all sorts of ghastly things happening today. We had hailstorm and rain this morning. So we didn't have power for hours. It just came back just now. So thanks so much.
Okay, thank you everyone. Thank you for joining.
Thank you everyone. And those of you who are in Hyderabad, look forward to seeing you on Saturday.
Yeah, sure.
Bye. Thank you so much. Good evening.